An anti-missile warship, the USS Monterey, has sailed into the Black Sea, ready for war games with the Ukrainian Navy. But its presence so close to Russia's southern border has drawn criticism from Moscow, which says the shield's creating more threats than it addresses. Let's cross live to RT's Alexei Yurashevsky for more details on this development. Alexei, why was this particular ship chosen to take part in the war games?
Well, this American warship, the USS Monterey, carries a high-tech and sophisticated anti-missile system called Aegis. And indeed, according to the plan of the Pentagon worked out several years ago, that ships of the USS Monterey's class could be moved to the Black Sea coast in case of an escalating conflict. We understand that the USS Monterey was moved from the American coast to the Mediterranean as a part of the new missile defense shield in Europe worked out by the Obama administration in 2009. But the question which raises eyebrows in the Russian Foreign Ministry, and that was published in the statement earlier on Sunday, that as long as there is no violent conflict in the Black Sea region, why is the ship, the USS Monterey, docks in at the Odessa harbor to take part in the NATO war games? It is especially bewildering given the fact that all the previous sea breeze war games in Odessa have seen only small US ships take part in these war games. Now, the class of the USS Monterey is clearly the biggest ship of its kind to take part in these games ever since their inception. The Russian Foreign Ministry says that the fact that the USS Monterey is now in the Black Sea region is in fact a threat to the Russian national security and in some way a violation of the agreements reached between Washington and Moscow over the new missile defense plan in Europe. So clearly the Russian Foreign Ministry is unhappy about this decision to make the USS Monterey one of the key figures in the NATO war games, sea breeze war games in Odessa, and obviously they want their voice of concern to be heard in Washington. So far we've had no comments coming from the American side on this statement by the Russian Foreign Ministry.
Surface, kill track 80041 gun. Surface track 80041 gun.
We need to be able to deal with a more demanding threat level than we've ever dealt with before, and that means the spectrum from cruise missile threat, ballistic missile threat, space challenges, air challenges, surface challenges, submarine warfare threat, to anti-piracy. I need credible combat power to deter enemies and to deal with the evolving threat.
Alexei, tell us more about what you know about its role in Washington's planned anti-missile shield.
Well, we've heard many stories about the agreements between Russia and the United States on the missile defense shield. We know that there was an original plan worked out by George W. Bush administration. It was scrapped by the Obama administration when he came to office in 2009. And there seem to have been lots of agreements reached on, to much delight of Moscow, on that issue. But recently we've seen many violations, according to the Russian Foreign Ministry, of this plan. First, we've seen the disembarkment of the US Patriot missiles in Poland, in the town of Morong. We've heard plans of further construction of radar location stations in Romania and in Poland, which is also something not discussed between Moscow and Washington. So all these steps are described by the Russian Foreign Ministry and many experts as something not discussed between the two presidents, the Presidents Obama and Medvedev, during their talks in the past several years. And experts say that, in fact, what the Pentagon does now is a violation of all the agreements. This is done without Moscow's consent. So clearly the war of words continues, and this latest statement made by the Russian Foreign Ministry, we'll see what developments we'll have on that. Clearly Moscow wants some answers from Washington, and hopefully many experts hope that these answers will come soon, and the collective security system in Europe will be built jointly between Moscow
The Aegis fleet of warships, our Aegis guided missile cruisers and guided missile destroyers, are really the heart and soul of the combat capability of the surface force.
It is the protective arm that ensures that our carriers can operate globally. It provides offensive strike capability. It allows us to work in close, so it increases our defense in depth considerably as we provide that protective envelope around our naval forces or forces going ashore.
To meet our maritime security requirements around the world, the minimum number of ships that our United States Navy needs is 313. We can't buy our way to 313. These ships we own today, we have to get them to their full lifetime, and for cruisers, that's 35 years.
The Aegis modernization program is critical to making that happen. It's about our most effective and efficient use of taxpayer dollars.
With this modernization program, we've been able to improve upon the combat capabilities of our current fleet in literally every way.
Aegis modernization program takes us to the open architecture computing environment. And what that means is that we'll be able to upgrade our combat systems so that we can take care of the threats today and also take care of threats as they emerge into the future.
As we continue to utilize Aegis in new and more demanding ways, such as shooting a satellite out of space. Ballistic Missile Defense. We develop even a greater appreciation of different things that we can do.
We took our oldest Aegis cruiser and have now spent over a year modernizing her to the most up-to-date standards. This is a team effort between government, the uniformed military, and our private industry. We cannot succeed without that team.
It truly is a partnership.
And now we have put this ship through a very rigorous combat system qualifications trial program.
All stations, TAO indications and warnings of 2 inbound aircraft from the north.
Be it gun, be it close-in weapon system, be it standard missile, all going to have an increased range over what we currently have today.
Surface guns, inbound small boat on 4 EOS. Inbound 35 knots. Kill service track 4325.
We also have the ability to simultaneously apply many more weapon systems to address all manner of threat.
Surface gun, service track 4325, burning and DIW.
We are actually bringing improvements to every single system that we touch. And this encompasses everything from making sure that her spy radar is detecting the target, to make sure that the fire control system sees the target, to make sure that that standard missile actually hits the target. That we evaluate it correctly, and that we have the proper procedures in place to make that hit to kill.
Birds away track 4560, birds away track 4854. KO Air Grand Slam track 4560.
Cooperative Engagement Capability, or CEC, is an absolutely critical component of our overall surveillance and tracking capability within a carrier strike group.
The key thing is being able to network this information between variable sites, be it shore facilities, be it satellites, be it aircraft, or other surface ships. That information exchange will be there, and we will be able to do multitasking between those ships to send an engagement to another platform, and that platform be able to reach out and touch whatever we want them to touch.